Talk about your decision to buy a franchise instead of going back to a family business.
It was, it was something where I wanted to create my own path. You come from that background of running a business, seeing the hard work that goes into it, but also seeing the autonomy of, being able to control things where I'm not, okay, I've only got 2 weeks of vacation right now. If I want to take something, you put in the 12, 14-hour days, but then if I want to take some time off, I can certainly do that. So I knew that I wanted to be in a business that I could control my own destiny and I could create. Obviously, there's a revenue stream that is, I don't want to say unlimited, but has much more potential versus just having a salary. And the decision to go that route, again, partly because of my background and seeing that and living it and knowing at some point I want to come back to business ownership. Throughout my career, it was that point where you're exited out for no fault of your own, but just a corporate restructuring, and that was the worst feeling I ever had in my life was what did I do? And as I reflected back on that, I confirmed that it really wasn't anything that I did. It was just that's corporate world. And I get that. And I as a director level in a global corporation, you see those things and you have to understand that that's how businesses are run. And sorry, mom's calling. Um, and because you have that knowledge of this is the way that corporate America is, I knew I didn't want to go back and have that feeling again. So that was really what, after we talked and I started exploring it, it was a way to go without starting something from scratch and having nobody else around you. That's the beauty of the franchise, is you have a roadmap. Now, if you follow that roadmap, or the franchise that I chose in Vanguard Cleaning Systems, it was perfect for me because there was a roadmap. There was non-competitive advisors out there in the franchise network of all the other master franchisees. And so you had that experience that you could tap into, but if I wanted to go around a roundabout, I could do that. I could veer off a little bit within reason, and that whole structure was unique because you could do the things the way that you wanted to do them. It wasn't like a McDonald's where it's exactly this is the way it's got to be done. There's no flexibility where I could put my decision making on, I could mold it into what I wanted to do. And so that was so appealing as we went through that process of figuring out, do I want to go into franchising or do I really want to go back into the corporate world? And with your guidance and then finding that right franchise opportunity, it was a pretty easy decision to go into the business ownership, go the franchise route versus going back into the corporate world.
And there you were with Vanguard doing what I love to do as well, which is building entrepreneurs out of your, what do you call them, contractors who are
Uh,
actually doing.
Franchisees, yeah, sub franchisees or
That's right.
unit franchisees we call. Oh, that's what I call them. I think they may have changed that term now.
So much of that work then is overnight work, but your day-to-day impact or influence was in attracting those sub franchisees who were then going
Correct.
to actually go out and I've hired actually Vanguard recently to do some cleaning at one of my businesses.
Yeah.
So they're all independent, but they're sub franchisees of that particular
Right.
model. I remember having a conversation with you in the very beginning about the legal structure and the complexity and just getting your feet wet with. Some of them were different nationalities, some of them had different work ethic, and molding them into your franchise. I think that's where that variability really benefited you, because you could put your own stamp of approval on it, but again, not exactly following. Every crew is going to be a little bit different.
Exactly, exactly. And that was as rewarding in the particular model that I was in. That was additionally rewarding, not only being able to build a business and be successful in my own right, but I took a lot of pride in not only, I guess, just a lot of personal pride and very humbly being an influencer and having an impact on individuals' lives and their families. And creating them instead of them going out and if this is what they're passionate about, and the franchisees that we did were cleaners, they were working for other people, and the motto was be your own boss,
Holy
just the
froze.
same as I wanted to do. But now you could take these people and you could guide them and coach them, and you certainly they're their own business, but to be able to have an influence and now see them be rewarded financially and uh, the same as I was in owning my own business. Now I'm helping people do that for themselves. So it was a very rewarding model, and is the best decision I ever made, bar none. So,
Well,
and I owe that
I'm
credit to you.
thank you.